In today's video, I'm going to be continuing to break down some of the pro-level tactics I use across Performance Max campaigns to drive growth for my clients. If you're new here, I'm Daryl and I run an agency called Big Flare, where we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on Performance Max campaigns since they launched, and through continuous experimentation, we've designed a series of strategies to use PMax campaigns to their full potential. Now, if you haven't seen the previous video in this series, go to my channel and watch part 1, where we look at some of the key principles to set up your campaigns for success. However, if you've already got your campaigns live and have watched part 1, stick with me as we pick apart how to drive even more growth from your campaigns. The first principle I want to explore is the importance of product titles in Performance Max campaigns. In my experience, in Google Shopping, which is where most of your e-commerce PMax ads will likely be serving, the product title is the most important part of the data feed when it comes to deciding which keywords will trigger your ads. As a search platform first, Google looks at its users' search terms to decide when to show your product. These could be anything from exactly what your product is, for example, white men's t-shirt if you're a clothing brand, to some longer tail search terms that still show strong purchase intent. For example, what's the best men's t-shirt? Ultimately, it's your product title more than anything else in the data feed that decides which of these keywords you'll be appearing for. Let's say the t-shirts you're selling have an obscure brand-specific name as their product titles, like these ones. These titles might work great and make total sense when on your Shopify store, but they'll fail miserably if you simply copy and paste them into your data feed as your product titles for Performance Max. These titles do not include the words t-shirt or graphic t-shirt in them, so probably won't trigger for those important searches. A simple rule of thumb here is, if you have never customized your product titles and instead your product titles are a copy and paste of what they are on your store site, then you probably need to get on that as soon as possible to ensure you are maximizing your impressions, clicks, and sales from Performance Max. If you're struggling with putting together these product titles, the Google Keyword Planner tool is your friend. This is Google's tool for finding keywords with high search volume to make sure you're not ignoring search terms that could be bringing you a vast amount of traffic. You can find this by navigating to the Tools and Settings tab at the top of the Google Ads interface, then clicking Keyword Planner under the Planning column. Once you're here, click Discover New Keywords and give Google a couple of keywords related to your product to give it some guidance. After this, Google will give you a list of related keywords in order of average search volume. These high volume keywords are what you want to be including in your product titles to make sure you're showing your product to as many relevant potential customers as possible. Now we've looked at product titles, the next tactic we use is actually more simple, but definitely not something to overlook. Depending on the number of products you're working with and the complexity of your campaigns, the way you structure your PMax campaigns can have a huge impact on your success. One tactic that I've seen significant success with is segmenting campaigns by gross profit margin percentage tiers, or GPM percentage tiers for short. Now, if you've followed the steps in this toolkit so far, you're likely getting familiar with what your ideal target ROAS is for your campaigns. However, if you've got a bunch of products that have varying gross profit margins, applying the same ROAS target to all of these products could lead to some products leaving money on the table by not bidding high enough, whilst at the same time other products waste money by bidding too high. If you have a number of products with different gross profit margins, take a moment to pull out a spreadsheet and segment these into 2 to 4 different tiers depending on their GPM. Once you've established these tiers, I'd make a Performance Max campaign for each one, allowing you to set a different ROAS target for each that aligns with your business goals. And that's something we covered in the previous video. Now from there, you can follow the same steps we've already discussed in order to refine each campaign's ROAS target over time, rather than being tied to a single target that might not suit every product that you offer. To wrap this video up, I want to look at a way we can get the most of the often overlooked Insights tab As Google continues to shift its focus towards automated campaigns and machine learning, we're now seeing that Google prioritizes serving PMax campaigns over anything else you have live. Even if you have another campaign that might be better suited to a particular search term or user. But there's one exception to this that can really turn the tide for your performance as you increase the precision of your activity over time. And that is exact match keywords in your search campaigns. If a user searches a keyword that is included in your exact match search keyword list, but is also relevant to your PMax campaign, you'll see that the search campaign will actually take priority here. Leveraging exact match keywords is great once you've evaluated the most relevant high-performing keywords for your customers. But aside from using the keyword planner, how can we work out what those are going to be? The key to that is the Insights tab in your PMax campaign. To find this, click into one of your PMax campaigns and click Insights on the left-hand menu. There's a lot of information to digest here, but today let's focus on the Search Terms Insight box underneath the Consumer Spotlight section. Here, you can see exactly the keywords that have been driving conversions for you. Pay close attention to the conversion value column, as the higher this is, the more likely you are to see these keywords drive revenue and carry a decent level of search volume too. When PMax shows search text ads, it's using automated ad copy that you don't have a lot of control over. However, if you add those keywords in exact match to your search campaign, you will have a whole lot more control over the ad copy, landing page, and ad extensions. And in the end, this will lead to better performance. So start out by taking all the top converting keywords from the Insights tab and creating search ads for them in a standard search campaign. And of course, make sure to use exact match. Come back to the Insights tab once every 1 to 2 weeks and add any new converting terms that you find there into your search campaigns. Once the keywords are added to search, make sure to keep an eye on how this performs and optimize it as you would any other search campaign. For example, improve the ad copy, add negative keywords, and pay attention to your quality score. This is such an efficient way of driving the ideal customers to your store. Now we've looked at some of the ways you can continue to nurture and improve your campaigns post-launch. You should have a few jobs you can carry out each week to continue to drive growth from your existing campaigns. However, there are a few more ways we can really elevate our PMax campaigns that I cannot wait to share with you. You won't want to miss part 3 of this series, so make sure to click the subscribe button below to make sure you're getting the most out of every penny of your ad spend. And if you need a true expert to come in and fully manage your Google Ads account for you, check out the link below to get in touch with my team at bigflare.com. You'll be able to schedule a time to chat with me or Lee, the fellow who runs the Google Ads team for me. And from there, if working together looks like a win-win, we'll put together a proposal that shows you exactly how we're going to make it happen.